Millions of fans believe Lionel Messi's World Cup victory was a scripted event rather than a sporting achievement. There is zero public evidence that FIFA rigged the cup, yet the theory remains unshakable. To understand why, we have to look past the trophy and into the history of an institution that has spent decades compromising its own integrity. Part of the doubt stems from a statistical anomaly. Over 7 matches in Qatar, Argentina was awarded 5 penalties, the highest number in World Cup history. Critics point to this spike as an indication of institutional bias. This coincided with significant commercial overlap. At the time, Messi played for Paris Saint-Germain, a club owned by Qatar Sports Investments. For the host nation, seeing the star of their own state-owned club lift the trophy provided an immense geopolitical return on investment. From a marketing perspective, the narrative was perfect. Messi completing football in his final attempt created a billion-dollar fairy tale for broadcasters, sponsors, and the brand of the World Cup itself. These commercial links and statistical quirks create a believable motive, but motive is not proof. The reason these theories have such staying power isn't because the fix was obvious, it's because the public was already primed to expect one. This crisis of faith was predicted years ago by Eduardo Galeano. In his seminal book, Soccer in Sun and Shadow, Galeano used a simple metaphor to explain the internal war for the soul of the sport. He defined the sun as the spontaneous, uncorrupted joy of the game. It is the football born in dirt streets and slums, played by ordinary people for nothing more than the carnal delight of freedom. Opposing this is the shadow. Galeano saw the sport being co-opted by a technocracy of bureaucrats and multinational corporations, turning a joyful game into a highly profitable mass spectacle industry, where imagination is suppressed by financial return. The conspiracies surrounding the 2022 tournament suggest a grim turning point. As the institutional shadow expands, the ability to see the sun, the pure achievement on the pitch, becomes increasingly difficult for a cynical audience. This shadow has a long history. Powerful leaders have frequently used the World Cup as a shield for their own interests, most notably during the 1978 tournament in Argentina. At the time, General Videla's military dictatorship used the tournament as a global propaganda operation. While the world watched the matches, the regime's torture and extermination tents were operating at full speed just blocks away from the stadium. FIFA executives like João Havelange were entirely complicit, offering the tournament as a sacred territory where order reigned. They allowed the sport to be used as a mask for a brutal regime, prioritizing the commercial success of the event over human rights. The 1978 tournament fractured public trust. It proved that the World Cup could be manipulated by those in power to broadcast a false face to the world, planting the seeds of the perpetual doubt we see today. By the 21st century, the shadow Galeano described had evolved from political complicity into documented, systemic financial crime. In 2015, the U.S. Department of Justice unsealed indictments that rocked the sport. FIFAgate uncovered decades of wire fraud, racketeering, and money laundering, revealing that votes for tournament hosting and media rights were frequently secured through massive kickbacks. This era of legal scandal established a precedent in the minds of supporters. FIFA demonstrated that even the most fundamental decisions in world sport could carry a hidden price tag. This history of crime collided with social media tribalism during the 2022 tournament. Digital echo chambers weaponized confirmation bias, turning subjective refereeing mistakes into proof that the organization was once again acting as a shadow monopoly. Viral claims took this even further, spreading fabricated stories of leaked scripts or remote-controlled balls. While these are easily debunked, they thrive because they fit into the existing narrative of a rotten institution. Social media algorithms found a fertile environment in FIFA's criminal history. The internet weaponized decades of documented corruption to convince fans that a fix was inevitable. However, the data from the 2022 tournament tells a different story. The FIFA Integrity Task Force monitored betting markets for all 64 matches and reported zero evidence of match manipulation. While fans will always debate referee interpretation, there is no trail of payments, no admission of guilt, and no document proving that Argentina or Messi purchased the trophy. Eduardo Galeano warned that this is the ultimate cost of corruption. It acts as a poison that contaminates our collective memory of the game. In the shadow of a corrupt institution, every beautiful goal is viewed as a marketing plan. A penalty is seen as an instruction from a boardroom, and a hard-fought celebration is treated as evidence of a crime. Stolen money is only part of the tragedy. The greater loss is that FIFA's documented history now robs the public of the ability to enjoy a great player's achievement without a layer of suspicion. As Argentina advances to the 2026 World Cup final against Spain, these accusations have returned to North America, showing how difficult it is to outrun a crisis of faith. We have evidence that FIFA has been corrupt. We have evidence that Argentina benefited from disputed calls, but we have zero credible evidence that the 2022 World Cup was purchased. Proof of a purchased prize remains non-existent, but proof of FIFA's lost credibility is a matter of public record. Once an institution's foundation is rotten, a legitimate triumph on the field still looks like an illusion to a cynical public. Is our suspicion of Argentina reasonable because FIFA betrayed the sport, or is it unfair to turn every historic achievement into a conspiracy?